Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if Rumble's working. Real quick, hold on. My channels. Let's see here. Videos. All videos. Currently going. Is this running live? Okay, yes. Rumble is running. So, all the whiners, you got your Rumble set up. It finally worked. Rumble didn't give me problems tonight. All right. Who was first tonight? Oh, Parallax, thank you. Also, first in accounts. Yes, even you get to be first. Even you. Even you. But yes, hello everybody. How's everybody tonight? Sweet Tooth, Justin Hand, Toothless, Goalie, Jim. I'll fight someone with watching. I think appreciate that. Oh, what am I? Where do I hear myself? Get rid of that. And then what else do we have? The GM grounds. Yes. Ginger is saying, hope you feel better. Yeah, mainly it's just my voice now at this point. RN saying, am I starting late or is it just no normal time? Cave Johnson. Come. I don't have the echo. Like, I don't have the echo like Fudbusters, though. 4M, hello. Plexity, hello. Pie Case, hello. Senor Spielbergo. Alpha Fox, what up? Iconoclast, how you doing? Wow, everybody's here tonight. Sadie, hello. Prima Air, how you doing? Carlos, am I feeling better? I'm pretty much out of it at this point, but I can't do anything until Monday. So I've had to get all kinds of stuff continued. Let's see here. Selena, hello. Trump, I'm gonna come. Don't come. That's a shame. How you doing? Patty, hello. How are you? Charles saying, did I see the news about the January 6th footage? Yes. Apparently there's a mountain of it, though, and we're going to have to look through it all. And I do love the fact that people are so upset that it was given Tucker Carlson when the January 6th committee didn't give it to anybody. So, hey, at least someone's getting to see it. A name of some sort says, my Transnistrian holiday has been ruined. Well, especially if you live near that massive arms depot, which has like a Hiroshima worth sized bomb of ammo the Ukrainians might try to seize. It's going to be very interesting. Adam saying it feels like I was tied to a tree and shot in a clear case of self-defense. What the heck? Sure, that sounds really bad. Sounds really, really bad. So everybody, I hope everybody's had a good week so far. I know mine kind of sucked, but oh well. Tomorrow's Friday, end of the week. A lot going on tomorrow. Alex Murdaugh is gonna continue his cross-examination. And we'll talk about that a little more coming up. Job well done says it might have 20,000 tons worth of uniforms. Probably not. That was one of the larger arms depots in Europe, much less the world at this point, absent something in China. It's interesting, though, because Victor Bout, from Brittany Griner fame, that's one of the places he, stole all kinds of crap from. So presumably all the good stuff's gone, but, the Ukrainians have Soviet-era equipment, and that's all Soviet-era, arms and ammo. So who knows what's there? They might be able to get stuff going so they can slimy their ukuleles further. Although I do believe the Russians will probably drop a cruise missile on that place before they let the Ukrainians take it. So it'll be interesting. No Mandate says, yes, the Y-12 nuke plant down in Oak Ridge, home of the atomic bomb, was on fire yesterday in Tennessee. Kind of weird, no news about it. I saw news about it, but I mean, it sounds like it was a small contained fire, so nothing too bad. Hopefully, although you're not sure about the government these days. Not sure. Charlie's saying if you want to see what a 4-gauge slug does to a human head, watch Grant Thumb's video from when he had the KS-23. It's a pretty good video. Freedom Thinker says the MSM is trying to blame Ohio Chernobyl on Trump. Yeah. Oh, he repealed regulations. Like, you guys have had 2 years to put regulations back. Come on. But hey, you gotta blame somebody if you can get away with blaming them. So, a name of some sort saying, "Can this war end just so I can get my cheap communist block ammo again?" Yes, that's caused a problem. The 5.45 market has disappeared because, incidentally, most of that stuff was Ukrainian. So, yes, come on, man. Oh. Ninja Bread Man saying the favorite wrestling move. Probably the Stone Cold Stunner. I mean, I gotta roll with. Gotta go back to my days as a kid watching SmackDown when it first came out. Stone Cold Stunner. That was my favorite. What's your guys' favorite wrestling move for finishing? Did I see about? Yes, there was an independent investigation group of scientists that were coming, and yes, they had a plane crash. Yeah, coming to do some work on the train wreck. Yeah, that's not weird at all. Just another coincidence. Just another coincidence. Oh, got the RKO, the Tombstone, the Pedigree, good one. The Razor's Edge. Rabbi Rubenstein, the Chris Benoit. Oh. Charlie saying Monday Night Raw is better. Yes, but I wasn't always able to watch or allowed to stay up that. Well, actually, no, I remember why I couldn't watch Raw because I didn't have cable back then. It wasn't until high school I got cable, so there's a reason I couldn't watch Raw. Oh, the DDT, that's a good one. Jim is saying the Claw by Kerry Von Erich. Yes. The Walls of Jericho. Yeah, it's not a bad one. You guys. Oh. My friend saying the Hogan Big Boot was always cool. Yes. Charles Watt says casino water is the best. Just a touch of amphetamines to keep you going in gambling. Well, hopefully Nick and all the guys who are out there getting ready for the thing on Sunday are not drinking too much of that water and getting strung out. Bogey 34 for $5. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate the support. Says, is it possible the state never cared if they could get a conviction for Alex Murdaugh? They just wanted him to confess to the financial crimes. No getting away from those now. They had him dead to rights and all that stuff anyway. I think, I guess we'll get started. Oh, 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll get started. So, guys, today the big deal was Alex Murdaugh testified. He did really good on direct. And then by the time it comes to cross, the head of the prosecution team, Creighton Waters, was up, and he did things that you're not supposed to do. One of them, if you guys noticed, is he was leaning up on the lectern, and I was on with Kurt for part of this afternoon. You're not supposed to lean on the lectern where you're like, oh, like, and kind of looking like this. And he's like, well, Mr. Murdoch, you're not supposed to do that. Put your hands right there and be like, go through your stuff. Leaning up there like you're a big asshole, well, you look like an asshole. And Alec gave pretty good answers to things. Certainly, he doesn't remember answers to things. And if he didn't remember the answer, he would sit there and say, I don't remember, but if you're telling me that, it's probably true. There was a big stink towards the end of the day when he didn't remember specifically each time he had ripped someone off, and that upset the prosecutor for some reason. But keep in mind, this guy stole, over $10 million. He's probably not going to remember each time he ripped someone off and stole their money because he stole all kinds of money. That'd be like asking John Dillinger if he remembered every bank that he robbed. I mean, he'd rob 1 million of them. For you, that bank robbery is a big deal, but for him, that's like every Tuesday. So I think the state has really hurt themselves because they bogged down on all of that. And I get it. He's lied. He's not trustworthy. He had a prosecutor's badge, and it sounds like he kind of left sitting up on his dashboard to get out speeding tickets, and he carried it around and act like a self-important douchebag at times. Okay. It also sounds like he had like blue lights on his car that he would use. Well, I'm betting a lot of people in the jury be like, if I could get out of speeding tickets, I would. And if I could use those lights and flash them and get through things, cut through traffic, a lot of people probably would do that. So they haven't really done anything other than showing, okay, yeah, he's an asshole. But none of that shows why he would go out there and smoke his kid and his wife at the same time. Maybe that's going to change tomorrow, but I don't know. I have the feeling that the cross is pretty much going to last most of the day tomorrow. But who knows? Maybe we'll be done and be wrapped up by the end of the day. And then they'll start jury instructions on Monday and keep going. Who knows? Patty Letter. Oh, you guys are saying you guys are still on wrestling moves. Yeah. Hulk Hogan shaking and coming back to life to finish the bad guy after losing for a while. Yep. Your mom liked the pump handle slam. Hey, if she did, I mean, good for her. Charlie says, Yokozuna dropping his huge ass at someone's face was always funny. Yes, it was. Alpha Fox, you're saying, yeah, he did annoy the crap out of Waters. He did annoy the shit out of him. Why? Because he was trying to give, and now some of that might be him trying to be sneaky, but the problem is Alex Murdaugh is a really good attorney, and I was happy to be embarrassed that he was doing a great job up there, and he still had his composure and his wits about him. Because on any given day, Alex Murdaugh is probably a far better trial attorney than Creighton Waters could ever hope to be. So, yes, that's shining through on Cross because he's trying to cross a highly skilled attorney and it's not going well. And you can hear him getting frustrated. MJ saying, oh, like your hair tonight. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Job well done saying he was $10 million just this last year. Yeah. I mean, how much has this guy stolen? I mean, he's not going to remember every time he's ripped someone off. Charles Watt saying, and he was an opioid addict. Yeah. I mean, half the time he's going to be high as heck, not remember everything. Toothless is saying, I had to reread this twice just to make sure I read it right. My mom smeared me in crap from my diapers as a baby to get out of a speeding ticket. I guess that's one way to get out of it. Job well done saying, is Alex the last witness or is he supposed to be I don't know who else you have after Alex if you're the defense. I assume this is it. I don't know what else who you'd have at this point. I mean, there's nobody that can really top him. Oh, yes, the salty hard R brain water. God, that was so good earlier. For $5, thank you for the super chat. I love the name. The collective Wine Mom opinion is Murdaugh is guilty because, yes. Why is he guilty? Because he bobs his head. Yeah. I said this with Kurt, and it kind of just struck me out of the air. Kind of just came to me. The Wine Moms they're all about true crime, not true justice. So I don't think they care. They just want the crimes. They're not really in it to make sure it's done right. They just want the crimes. Did the RN Rule says, did the defense put on any experts? Oh, a ton. Quite a few. They put on a couple different forensic experts. One of them was a crime scene expert saying the police sucked at their job. They had a couple experts who could comment on a couple different areas. But yeah, they had like probably at least 2 or 3 experts that I can think off the top of my head. So yeah. Tricky Dicky is saying if he did not want to answer a question, could he say, if I were to speculate? No, because you're not allowed to speculate. I mean, if you don't know the answer, you don't know the answer. You're not allowed to speculate. You can speculate on things if you're an expert, but if you don't know the answer, it's better saying, I don't know. Although, to be fair, Alex, you guys are accusing me of theft. I know I stole a ton of money, so yeah, I probably did that. Is not a bad answer. Sugoi Suomi saying, the case against Katie Arms over the GLAX lowers was dismissed just in time for Carl to melt down and destroy in-range TV. Good job, Carl. I hope all you your commie friends and shroons and Satanists, whatever else you guys are called, crying and malding and seething and coping over and dilating about. Hope you guys have fun. Hope it was worth it. Cheers. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you just dodged a whole truckload of gun-related internet autism, so lucky for you. Jim is saying, I thought the prosecutor was trying to change his theory of the case in the middle by suggesting he was worried about being indicted like his buddy, the sheriff. No, I just think it's going to show he's a corrupt liar and he's just not a good guy. That's why. I think that's all. They're just, how bad can we make this guy look? And they're just going to keep making him look bad and keep making him look bad and keep making him look bad. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I really think that's where they're going, because then when it gets to the stories of the that night where the shooting happened, say, why can we believe you now? Because you're that corrupt and scumbaggy. If I had to guess, that's where he's going, but it might change. We'll see. Robert Brees saying 2 more experts were mentioned. They may have. I was had a long night last night, not sleeping well. If you guys were on with Kurt, you know that. So if they mentioned experts, that's great. There might be 2 more. Yeah, they might. If they have 2 more, cool. Or they might just say, yeah, we're good. We'll see. If there are 2 more, I'd be interested to see what they talk about. Darcy's saying they have experts. They talked about putting them up. Jim is saying they have 2 more experts they were trying to call and stop the cross, but the judge said no. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. Once you get a witness going, you can't interrupt by throwing another witness up there. I give them credit for asking that, because you know what? Hey, the worst the judge can tell you is no, but there's no way in hell that's ever going to happen. That just defies. Yeah, that'll never happen. So let's see here. Where are we at? Trying to catch up with you guys. James says, nice going, Carl. TC saying, Runkle, hey, Runkle's a great guy. And to be fair, I was a member of InRange TV. I was on their Discord. I supported them for a couple of years on Patreon because I thought they were doing great stuff. But in the past, like year and a half, 2 years, like things got a little hinky. So I bailed a while back. I don't know if Runkle's still there, but if he is, hey, teach their own. I'm not gonna sit here and shame people or say he's bad or whatever. Runkle's a great guy. He's up there fighting a good fight in a place that's not very hospitable. So more power to him. Poca T saying, no, please explain the autism. We don't have a 5-hour stream. And I don't have a slideshow presentation ready for that, so no. Oh. If you want to go Google it on Kiwi Farms. It's in the Carl Casada thread. Just Google InRange TV on Kiwi Farms. You'll find it. Carlos is saying, do you look in your client's eyes? Yeah, I thought that part was a bit much. That's a shame for $9.99. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate your support. I'm saying I gave up on the trial, so I didn't see if anyone on streamer mentioned Alex having mild Tourette's. I happen to date 2 different people with it, and they bobbed their heads like that when upset. I had no idea he had Tourette's. So either way, I just thought it was his mannerism. But no, thank you for mentioning that. I'll do some research, and I'll bring that up tomorrow if I get on with anybody. And also, guys, here's the thing. I know some of you guys are saying things about Emily Baker. Listen, we both look at it our own way. She's comes from her experience. I come from my experiences. None of them are bad. None of them are better than the others. They're just that. They're our experiences. Those are our views. That's how we frame our world. That's how we base our reality. So, if you guys want to make fun of the people that are chats, fine. But, Emily's entitled to her opinion. And if she, there's going to be times where we'll watch the same thing and say, oh, the defense did bad or good, or the prosecutor did bad or good. It's all about perspective. Now, obviously, somebody is right and someone's wrong, but that, it's the whole, you could have 100 attorneys in a room and they can disagree about everything. So, Valhalla, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. Stormcrow saying, wait, does this have to do with the what would Stoner do gun? No, this had to do with Carl trying to claim that the Second Amendment is the Second Amendment's for everyone, including militant and violent leftist groups who seek to destroy the Second Amendment, among other things, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But hey, he went down with that ship. Also, Ian kind of didn't back him up and completely distanced himself, and Carl got really mad because Ian did a collaboration with Administrative Results. Like I said, those of you guys are like, oh, I want to hear it. Well, there you go. Now you have to figure out who Ian and Administrative Results are. Selrin saying Alex said he only did 5 trials, but that was specifically as a prosecutor. Yeah, as a trial attorney for doing plaintiff's work, he's had more trials than that. He's received tons of verdicts. The guy was a killer when it came to doing trial work as a personal injury and plaintiff's attorney. So, yeah, he was good at what he did. Sheriff Buck says, you're both wrong. Yes, we probably are. Yes, and you're the right one. Job well done says the John Brown Gun Club has a right to exist. Yeah, certainly they do. But when your group is advocating for pushing for things that destroy the thing that they're, trying to hide behind, well, that becomes a little bit of a problem, I think. Oh, wow, a lot of you guys know about Carl, so. Parallax saying, did I hear Ralph announced May was with child again? Oh, God. God, there's so many people in this country, in this world, that would love to have children, and they can't. Get like Ralph and Pantsu can just spawn like salmon. It's disgusting. So, all lawyers are wrong. Yeah. Yeah. All lawyers are always wrong. You can't trust lawyers. Biden's growing amyloid levels. Hold on, let me do this one. On a scale of 1 to jihad, what is the proper course of action for communists? Well, if inshallah means the helicopter keeps flying, then inshallah. Or alhamdulillah. Agbow Chemist says, yes, John Brown Club is mainly Antifa and people fond of children. Yes, not going to lie. And it's sad because they ripped off what John Brown did. John Brown was a man of God, and most of them would probably consider him a fascist. DD says, communists do not have a right to exist. Well, they're not people, so they don't have that right. Key thing. Key technicality. Noel says, I may need a consult. Is there anywhere I can contact you? Yes. Should say it down below. Should be an email address. You can reach me at potentiallycriminal@gmail.com. Or you can go through my website and get a hold of me there. Hunch 30 Roofer. How are you doing? Yes, the John Brown Gun Club can exist. I want real targets. No comment. No comment. Oh my gosh. Stormcrow saying, is John Brown different than John Moses Browning? Yes. John Brown was a violent and militant abolitionist. He was part of Bleeding Kansas, which was kind of like the guerrilla, and there was like a low-level civil war brewing in Kansas prior to the Civil War, where it was the abolitionists versus slaveholders, and they were doing like Balkan-style raids on villages and killing each other. And John Brown was involved in that. John Brown actually led a raid on Harper's Ferry, which is one of the major U.S. arsenals at the time, prior to the Civil War. It was going to steal a bunch of guns and lead a slave rebellion. He got caught, and then Robert E. Lee was one of the U.S. Army personnel who caught him, and John Brown was subsequently hung for doing that. So yeah, you know what though? I mean, the abolitionists were the Antifa of their day. Yeah, except they were actually fighting for a good thing. Slavery bad, not capitalism bad. No, hold on here. Let me see. You sent me an email. Let me check my website. Sorry. Sometimes stuff doesn't always pop up. Let me see here. I think you did. Did you send it this morning? Or you sent it, actually, it may have been, actually, yeah. You know what? Just send it again. I'm not sure which one, because I've gotten a bunch of them and I've been replying to them all. So I'm trying to catch up here. No, so you know it was last Friday? Okay, I'll go back and check. Yeah. Did I say that, Jim? Yeah, you're right. People are hanged, clothes are hung, and men are hung as well. Huh. So, can I get back to that? So, yeah, that's where we are at Murdaugh. It'll be interesting to see what happens for him. Moving on, SBF Sam Bankman-Fried has a new indictment, and actually, it's a superseding indictment, meaning they added on charges. There's not a whole lot yet they've disclosed, but it'll be interesting where it leads because one of the biggest things is he got charged with was a superseding indictment alleging all his campaign finance violations, which makes sense that was going to happen because he had donated tons and tons of money all over the place. So, as you can see here, it's a superseding indictment. If you read a bunch at the beginning, they flesh out a little bit more of what's going on. So, a superseding indictment means this is now the controlling indictment document. The old one doesn't count anymore. So if you guys happen to download this off Pacer or off FindLaw and you start reading it, a lot of it's going to be the same because they have to reiterate the same things again, but they're probably adding on as well. So if you read, you might notice more. Um, but when you get to the end, they talk about bank fraud as a couple of charges, but we need to get all the way down. It'll be down here. So count 12, conspiracy to make unlawful political contributions and defraud the Federal Elections Commission. Uh, so what did they do from at least 2020 up to about November 2022? They committed campaign violations. And what did he do and what was illegal? So SBF, the defendant, others known and unknown, would and did knowingly and willfully make contributions to candidates for federal office, joint fundraising committees, and independent expenditure committees, which are separate entities, in the names of other persons, aggregating $25,000 and more in a calendar year. So they were running around sloshing money everywhere, and it makes sense how they were able to get away with it because they ran around and did it on the down low. And since a lot of politicians are returning that money, that protection he thought was going to get him is gone. So you can have fun with that, SBF. And they did it as a conspiracy, and they also did it down here, and they talk about again doing even more, violating other parts of the United States Code, sections 30118, and then going on further. And this is where they talk about defrauding the FEC, which I think is hilarious that you're getting accused of defrauding the Federal Elections Commission. And they violated the laws, including the prohibitions to corporate contributions. So there's a campaign finance law is kind of difficult to deal with, but they did go and get involved in all kinds of things there. And he's probably going to get hosed on that. So that's just interesting. I think he lost a lot of the support he hoped he was going to have. Goalie saying at least he had a hot girlfriend. Oh no. Oof. Oof. Shayla is a new member. Thank you, Shayla. I appreciate your support very, very much. So Hunch is saying, do I think he'll get the suicide in a cell or just get whacked in a yard somewhere? I don't know. He goes to trial in October, so we'll find out what happens. I mean, that's a long way to go to trial. A lot can happen. That's a lot of nights he's got to go to sleep. A lot of times he's got to turn his back in the shower. Oh. Just Cause taking off. Have a nice night. Thanks for stopping in. Hagbach Kim is saying it sounds like a standard election. Yes. Yes. Campaign finance violations everywhere. 100%. Tarkina Meyer saying you mean woof woof, not oof oof. Well played. Oh. Agbot Kim is saying who's hotter, SBF Squeeze or the Georgia grand jury lady? Well, that's going to be the next one. Paul is saying, I thought he was out on bail. Well, that may change at some point. I mean, that's a long way to go, his bail. I mean, if the government wants to revoke your bail, they can get your bail revoked. And you can be held. It's not hard for them to do. And if they want him in, if somebody wants him inside so something can happen to him, they can make that happen. It's not hard at all. Not hard at all. So good luck, Sam. You're going to need it. And this actually is a very good segue to move on to the issues regarding the grand jury out of Fulton County, Georgia. So if you guys are aware, out of Georgia, the Fulton County prosecutor convened a grand jury to a special grand jury to do investigating and make recommendations on whether or not people should be charged. Well, it's a special grand jury, not the grand jury. So they're issuing a report. They have not issued indictments. So they do have some rules. Grand juries do have secrecy. They're not allowed to talk about deliberations. And a lot of times, the grand juries are not allowed to talk about anything, period. Apparently in Georgia, you can talk about some things. Well, the foreman for this grand jury decided to talk. And why? Well, her name was on some of the documents. When you're the foreman of the grand jury, that's the one where, your indictment's signed generally by the foreperson of the grand jury. So that's the one name everybody gets to know of. Well, she did. And this is the woman who is in charge of the grand jury dealing with the president, before President Trump. And listening to her just does not inspire confidence in the just in what we're dealing with today. So here you go. This one right here on the right side of the screen is the grand jury foreperson. Just listen to her. This is one of the statements she's made so far.
Would you say when it comes to, there are indictments recommended, of course. Is it more than 12 people? Is it more than 20 people?
I think if you look at the page numbers of the report, there's about 6 pages in the middle that got cut out. Allow for spacing. It's not a short list.
Not a short list. More, I mean.
It's so funny. I
think if you look at the page numbers of the report, there's about 6 pages in the middle that got cut out. Allow for spacing. It's not a short list.
Not a short list. More, I mean, when it comes to 7, is.
Now, that the issue is, why are you even talking about it? Why? What makes you think this is a good idea? I understand she's vapid. I think she's younger. So she's vapid and wants to get on the news. But good Lord. That's not how you should be doing this. This doesn't instill confidence in the grand jury system. I mean, Jesus Christ. Woman. It's absolutely awful. I mean, it's just, ugh. And she made more statements. She gave another interview. She gave an interview at MSNBC. And, here you go. And for example, we should read what this person's saying here. Is she trolling or is she a kooky Trumper? And this is the problem. This woman here is somebody who like supports BLM and LGBT things, and she thinks this woman's a Trumper. I, on the other hand, I don't know if she's on the left or not, but now I have concerns about her. So as you can see, this is not just a left or right thing. This is where everybody's like, what the hell are you doing? We all think you're sus. But here's what she said on MSNBC.
Personally want to hear from the former president.
I wanted to hear from the former president, but honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president because I got to swear everybody in. And so I thought it'd be really cool to get 60 seconds with President Trump of me looking at him and being like, do you solemnly swear? And me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought that would be an awesome
Yeah, I just
moment.
Personally.
And then I think this is even better because just I know some of you might out there think, oh, I'm being a little one-sided here. Even one of Obama's former confidants and head chief advisors, David Axelrod, says this is weird. Like, does anyone recall the time a foreman of a grand jury, particularly in a consequential case, did a media tour before any indictments were made? He's like, who the hell is this woman? Yeah, that's a big deal. You know, this is a big deal. Does this mean you can trust this? I don't know if you can. I mean, certainly if I'm representing any of the people who get indicted, one of the first things I'm filing is I'm demanding to see the grand jury transcripts from the special grand jury. Because that's all transcribed as well with a court reporter. I want to know what was said in the grand jury. And I want to know about their deliberations. Even though those are supposed to be kept secret, this woman is out here sounding like a lunatic. I want to know what the hell happened. And once again, it's not left or right. This is just, this is not good. It is not good at all. Adam A saying she's on drugs or should be. Ploopsicle says, can't tell you wasn't there. Well, Tarkina Meyer for $5. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Says, congrats to my husband. Just got selected for Dallas County Grand Jury. Oh, well. Tell him I said good luck. Hope, he is allowed to ask questions. He's allowed to give them a hard time. They can't get rid of him if he's already on the grand jury. Pyramid 7, don't make fun of her. She'll cast a spell. Oh, no. That's not good. Charles Watt says, giggles the witch. Yes. Thanks, Parallax. I appreciate the support. Yeah, it's our 15 minutes of fame, but God almighty, this is just not good. Just not good at all. Darby saying, Darby O'Hara, do they find it in a library basement or a creepy farm well? Oh. Adam A says, and she votes. More importantly, she was on a grand jury. That's even crazier. Oh. Charlie 18 saying she's a witch. Liberal Hive Mind did a video on her. Like, oh, if they like dug deep, she's like actually a witch. The people they let in the grand juries anymore. Mary Ricketts says she's not looking at the camera, deceitful. Yeah, maybe, or she's just not good at being in camera, or I mean, she's on the spectrum, which I think is very likely. That's not abnormal either. By Franz says, I could fix them all. Zem says, you sound sick. Yeah, I just don't have the deep end of my voice right now. Hunch the Dirty Roof for $2. Thank you, Hunch. Says, she looks like the Goblin in Harry Potter. Yep. Garville Loken says she looks like a mental patient. Yeah, she is. I think she comes across as one. Robert Lord says she wants her 5 minutes now. Yep. Premier is saying, I know we don't do prior restraints. Yes, normally you don't, but for grand juries especially, you are sworn to secrecy. Now, in Georgia, apparently because this is not the grand jury seeking charges, she was not sworn to complete secrecy. But grand jurors are sworn to secrecy. Why? Well, you're going to hear things and you may not indict people, but you'll hear allegations of people being accused of crimes. Well, part of the right people have is to be, if they're, you don't get to blab about it because they don't have a chance to fight that in the court of public opinion or the court of law because they never got a case presented. So I think the jurors should be sworn to secrecy. And I don't understand why they were allowed to talk in this one, because this is just as harmful. See John saying everyone that testified is going to be indicted, claiming they all lied. I assume that's probably what this lady was doing. Salty hard R brain water for $2. Thank you for that. Says at least we don't have to expect surprises in Georgia. Well, I don't know. This is going to be a surprise what happens with that case. These cases. Patty is asking, who is this crazy lady? She is the foreperson of the grand jury. And she signed off on the report and charging recommendations they made. Garville Loken for $4.99. Thank you very much. Says she reminds me of Squeaky from. She kind of does. She kind of does, just a little bit. This is not a bad one. M2 is saying M2 is saying that she sounds like a Karen who fell in love with power. Oh, I think she was enamored the fact she had that kind of power once she learned everything she could do. Yes, guys, I don't disagree about the 19th Amendment. Selrin says, I think this is a symptom of things to come because it's the future with Gen Z and the social media. Yeah, it is, which is kind of frightening. Opposing Force says, Trump says it was a witch hunt. Apparently, this brought his social media page as a witch, which it's a witch hunt led by a witch. Yeah, it is peak. It's peak 2023. That's some top tier Kino right there. I don't know how you beat it. You can't write that. Selman saying her Insta's full of Wiccan shit. Oh God, like real Wiccan. That's awful. That is awful. Job well done says an I am nude is hard to find. Yes, it is. Unless they make you a newt. You guys, holy cow, you guys are like just rocketing ahead here. Trying to keep up. Me Kenny says make witch burning great again. Yeah. Yep. Witches should be burned. Burn the witches. Name of some sort saying Kino. Hold on. Name of some sort says Kino. It is not. Cringe. It is. One man's Kino is another man's cringe. What can I say? So, Eric the Red says, bring back the Salem Witch trials. Hey, they got the job done. Oh. All right. Then there's a... Jeff Martin saying, do you have a cold? No, I have COVID. Again, for like the third time. Got it way back in 2020. Got it last summer. Now I've got it again. So, like, you know, get the next one. It's like get fourth and the fifth one's free. And then after 5, you get a set of steak knives. So it's not too bad. Well, on Tuesday I had it and I had the chills like I was a heroin addict. But other than that, it's not bad. Gingerbread Man, Inquisitor Martin. Suffer not the witch to live. For the Emperor. Wrestler Town for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Oh my God. Wrestler Town says, I look at this woman and see, go clean up the soda aisle. Georgia took a look at this woman and sees, you're leading the team to preserve democracy. Yep. That, and it weird how history is sometimes. You know, it all comes down to you. And instead of Napoleon, it's like Pierre the street sweeper instead. You know, the Battle of Austerlitz not being... The Battle of Austerlitz is fought by some guy named Gustav instead, not Napoleon. Oh. Ginger saying, so yes, he has a cold. Okay, yes. Well, actually, yes. But this cold, I had to shove a Q-tip up my nose and test for. Joe Biden said Sherman should have kept going. He did. He burned Atlanta to the ground and killed like 30,000 Confederate soldiers in Atlanta. So he did pretty good. Alpha Fox has stopped going to bathhouses. Zemi is saying, did I lose taste? Nope. Taste, I haven't had those issues before. I don't have it where I lose taste or foods taste different. I haven't had that any of the times I've gotten it. Metal Matt says I have wooden doors on my house, so the train chemical burn, the chemical gas got into my house. How did you know? How did you know? Oh. Egg Biochemist says Sherman didn't burn enough. I think that could be a very valid point. Tricky Dick is saying, did I get muscle aches at all? No, I mean, I was sore for like a morning. Like Tuesday morning, I woke up sore, but by lunch, that went away. So, Wicked Money saying the CIA finally got me. Oh. Charlie saying I should have went and coughed on Mayor Pete when he was over checking out the wreck. Oh, God. I'm not going to lie. I'm not willing to sit in a car for 2 hours right now. I would have jumped out a window partway through. Harris Riley saying, did you see the Lincoln Dictator series by Razor Fist? No, I have not seen that. I'll have to look at that when I get a chance. I will have to take a look at that. Oh. Yeah, so the next thing, I know this is something that I'm surprised somebody didn't say this yet. Would I be willing to take a train to East Palestine? Yes, sure, why not? Oh. Fabric for 199 says, Pete asked Judge said the water is safe. Now I have AIDS. Yeah, I saw the pictures of the governor and all the other people holding glasses of water. I wish Buttigieg would have drank some water, but I also would have been the guy doing it, walking up to a hose and just filling up out of that and making them drink it. But hopefully they really did drink some bad stuff. Alpha Fox is like, you really have a nice pool in East Palestine. Yes. Very tingly. It's exfoliating on your skin. Oh. Tricky Dick saying, yeah, there's that water came out of Fuji bottles. Yeah. Or Zemi said there's a video of them drinking it out of a sink now. Well, that's good. That is important. Yes, I saw this video where yes, the reporter, the guy said the water's fine. The reporter asked him to drink it, and he said, "Oh, I'm good. I'm not thirsty." Oh, yep. So yeah, that is it's oh, I'm not Obama says the sink was probably hooked to the wire truck. I'm not willing to get that far up the chain, but yeah, they definitely went out of the way to make sure the water was highly treated before the governor took a sip. So yes. Now, moving on, this is something I know that got covered earlier in the week by Bronk, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I do think it's something worth talking about. And I thought about trying to do a separate video, but it's kind of how I sound, and I don't want to do this for 2 or 3 hours to do all the recording. But it is the cop who got body slammed. Well, he got suplexed. To be fair, that is the proper terminology. So, where is it? Okay, so this occurred down in Georgia. And what I will say is, well, we'll actually get started. Let's get to it. So the guy who's walking to his job, working a graveyard shift, and the police are investigating that somebody was breaking in the cars. Okay, but let's start with that. Let's go from there.
Hey, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Put your hands in your pockets.
Okay, so at this point, he thinks he found the bad guy breaking into cars. He's allowed to stop you because he thinks this matches the description the guy's looking for. At this point, is he allowed to stop you and arrest you if he thinks you committed a crime? Yes, he has the right to seize you. Now, obviously, this guy has no idea what the hell's going on. He's like, oh, what? Okay, fair enough.
Excuse me. Being detained, but I'll take your backpack off. Take your backpack off. Excuse me. What am I doing? Take your backpack off.
Okay, look, and now here's the deal. I understand he's probably a little dazed, but look, when the cops say you're under arrest, you're under arrest. You're not getting unarrested. What am I getting arrested for? He does not have to tell you right now. He's allowed to effectuate the arrest, and then he can talk to you about it. But when the cop says, hey, you're under arrest, the jig's up. Because once again, there's two options. Either you agree to be arrested or he makes you get arrested. And usually getting make to be arrested means your ass is going to get kicked. You're not usually going to be able to kick that cop's ass. And let's say you start kicking his ass, he might kill you. So In reality, you're not going to kick his ass. You're going to be arrested voluntarily or by force. And if he kills you, I mean, he really did arrest you. He arrested your soul.
Can you explain before you go on the ground, take your backpack off? I'm going to get picked up for work. Look.
Doesn't matter. He said you're under arrest. I'm going to work. Okay. And Jim, you're right. This guy has a history of like nonsense, but it doesn't matter. At this point, you've got to go with him because the cop's not going to change his mind.
If you want to play this game, the chain thing back. This is like put it down. Can you tell me what's going on? Just put your hands behind your back before.
Okay, look, you're getting arrested. Once again, the jig is up. This is not. I get it. You think like I'm a good guy. I'm not doing anything wrong. Doesn't matter. You know, and this is who we are saying after January 6th, I have 0 fucks for Leos. I get that. But when they're saying you're under arrest, you're not going to win the fight. So look, I'm trying to just give you the advice of keeping you from having your head cracked open on the pavement. That's the issue. So somebody's saying, is this rackets? No, it's not, Nick.
On the ground. You're detained for a minute. You imagine the description of someone trying to break into people's cars.
See, now he actually told you. So you asked for it. Now you're under arrest. Okay. Okay. Now, here's the deal. You're under arrest. You're not going to get arrested. He's allowed to use force to effect an arrest. He has to use reasonable force. And this is where I disagree with Bronca. You're not allowed to go full retard and just suplex a guy and smash them all up. There's a reason why in wrestling, when you throw somebody, you have to control their fall because you can severely injure someone. So the force has to be proportional and it has to be reasonable. Doing this, yeah, I think Officer Cooter's watched too much wrestling in his time. So he suplexed the guy. But also remember, the cops are under arrest. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Cuff up. Then you get cleared later. I mean, that's all you can do. You may not like that, but them's the rules, kids. And otherwise, you're going to deal with retarded people like Deputy Cooter who don't know how to do anything else other than hurt you. So that's, you know, like I said, you guys may not like it, but that's what it is. Yeah, the force is not proportional, but at that point, yeah. Darby O'Hara says within 30 seconds, he's hooking the guy up, didn't do any investigation or ask any questions. Well, that's because at that point, he thinks he found the bad guy. I mean, you don't, if you're given a description, you see the guy who matches it, you know, you can say, I think this is the person who committed the crime, arrest them. I mean, that's not illegal. We would rather they do an investigation and sit there and talk to the person, but under current case law, if you think you have probable cause to arrest someone, and I think in this case, he can make an argument he had probable cause to arrest that guy. We're not even talking about Terry versus Ohio or reasonable articulable suspicion. He could probably make the argument he had probable cause, the standard to effect an arrest. That's it. He's got probable cause. So, yes, it's definitely excessive. It's definitely excessive. So, yeah, it's the minimum amount of force required, and this is definitely not it. And Darby's saying, what stopped the cop from asking questions? Nothing. He doesn't have to. If he thinks you commit a crime, he has the right to arrest you. If he can articulate it to a probable cause standard, he definitely can arrest you. So, And Freedom Thinker's right. You fight it in court, not with the cops, because you won't win. And that's part of the issue. You know, and I guess this is our talk. You know, like certain communities, they have the talk. Well, this is the talk for us. The cops say you're under arrest. That's it. Take your pinch like a man. That's all I can tell you. Then when it gets sorted out, give somebody like me a call and we'll help you figure it out. But right now, there's nothing I can do for you there. So, Justice Smith saying, I watched the one where the guy resisted and got shot point blank. Yeah, I saw that one. That one's a rough one. So. And Jim is saying, well, I think this was excessive and shouldn't have happened. People want to debate the cops and think they can talk it out. Sure. Trot saying, couldn't he just put the cuffs on? Well, the guy, he's trying to get him, but the guy won't. Like, it seems like he's probably going to say, like, I tried to get one hand, and then he moved the other hand, so I grabbed that one. And he's going to say the guy's not agreeing to be cuffed, and it's clear he won't put his hands behind his back. So, now, is he going to be able to justify all this force? No, that's a problem, but yeah. So, anyway, we'll kind of get back to here.
You imagine the description of someone trying to break into people's car. Yeah. I'm not breaking anyone's car. Check my fucking back. You dumb bastard.
Which is really Witch from Deputy Cooter saying that, because that's, yes, that, you dumb bastard. It's a crying shame says, no, I want them to have evidence you committed a crime. We need to change this period. Well, if you match the description of that person who committed a crime, that's, the police are allowed to arrest based on that. I mean, think about it. They got to, call some guys running down the street just like Jason who murdered somebody, and you see some guy running down the street just like Jason. Right as you get the call, you're allowed to assume, hey, that's probably the guy who did it. I'm allowed to arrest him. And it sounds like the guy was right in that area. Now, the fact they dropped the charges, they dropped everything, shows like, okay, he probably wasn't. Officer Cooter messed up. Well, this guy got body slammed, then did turn around and sued the police, and since then, they've refiled charges. Now, yes, that's par for the course in Southern law enforcement, given how corrupt they are, especially in the South. So it'll be interesting how things go from there for him. But I hope he wins, and I hope he gets a lot of money from Deputy Cooter, because that was excessive force. Porcelain Thunder says, is that the big boss man? His retirement job? Yeah. Oh. You're telling someone to take an arrest while in their job? I'm telling you're not going to, if the cop decides to handcuff you, that's it. That's my point. If the cop says, look, you're under arrest, I'm investigating something, and I think you committed a crime, there's no getting out of that. Like, look, I'm late for work. It's not me. He's decided to arrest you. So instead, you got suplexed. Now you broke your collarbone. You're going to go to the hospital. Is it right? No. Is it wrong that they can do that? Sure. But them's the rules right now. And he's going to be legally within his rights to seize you. That's the point. That is the reality of the... I'm not saying it's right. I'm pointing out this is the reality of the ocean that we swim in. Seals that swim in the ocean get eaten by orcas. The seals may not like that, but you have to accept the terms and acknowledge reality. There are orcas out there that will randomly eat you. And you have to operate within that framework of, okay, I need to avoid getting in situations where the orca may eat me. Well, if the cop says, hands behind your back, you're under arrest, that's it. I mean, there's no way around that right now. Sure, you can push and advocate for things and fight in case law, and I will too. But on the side of the road, that's it. The jig's up. And I would never recommend somebody like sitting there trying to debate it out, because why would I do that? Because I'm never going to encourage somebody to go out there and get their ass busted apart arguing with the cops. I might argue with them or do something, but I'm willing to take that risk. But just like anybody here who ever watches this, I can never do that to them. So that's not fair to them. If they do that, sure, they should know, but they should also understand here's what the cops might do, because they might be illiterate morons when it comes to the Constitution. They might be illiterate when it comes to using self-defense or using force. You know, and if that's the problem here, that's the issue. So, you know, and this guy, was he really resisting? No, not at all. But once again, you're dealing with a cop who's like, if you don't do exactly what he says, he loses his mind and gets all paranoid, thinks he's going to die. Okay, great. You know, yes. Does that mean you have to treat cops like you're juggling a grenade? Sure. That it might explode at any moment. It's not stable. Yeah. That them's the breaks for now. I mean, like I said, I hate using the phrase, but it is what it is. Pacific Highlander says Sean Astin put the weight back on. This is who we are, says he cried. He's like, you know what? I bet that hurt like hell, because he probably landed on his head as well. In addition to that, I mean, sometimes when you break a bone, it hurts like hell. I mean, to sit here and say, oh, he's crying like a little baby. I mean, maybe it does hurt like hell. Maybe he's crying a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I can tell you, like when I tore my patella tendon on my knee, oh my God, that was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Somebody else may have done it and thought it wasn't that bad. It all depends. So I'm not going to sit here and make fun of him for crying because he's hurt, because it probably did hurt like hell. Pike saying when they use excessive force like this, they still have qualified immunity. That all depends on how your circuit looks at it. He might not. It all depends. That's it's going to be very factually dependent. Alec News says the description is man with backpack, no height, weight, or race. I don't know. You're not going to necessarily tell race at night. So, I mean, it also, from what I understand, like the dude was like right in the area. So it's like, wasn't like this is 5 hours ago. It's a crying shame says he was still fired and lost a week of work. Yeah, he did. And I'm sure if he'd been detained temporarily and been able to go on his way, probably would have made it to work. Instead, he got taken to the hospital, so he completely like missed work and was a no-call, no-show. So that, once again, this is where he wouldn't just like, you know, this was the problem. The cop had grounds, I think, to make a probable cause stop in good faith. And then he fought and he got hurt. And then he had to go to the hospital. Okay, well, that's where if he hadn't, he probably could have made it to work in time. And yes, and I understand that. That puts him further back. He probably, you know, very likely could have lost his house or where he's renting and lose his car because he's got to make payments and you get behind. Yeah, and it's 2 weeks, but that's a minimum of 2 weeks. Might be actually 3 weeks where they have to catch you up on another week's paycheck. And then he's got his hospital bills and all this crap. And even if he were to get out that next day, he probably wasn't able to work for a week or two on top of all of that. So now you're looking at maybe 3 to 5 weeks where he doesn't work at all. Yeah, he could be out on the street and have nothing left to his name after a while. Sure. But that's why all I can say is don't hold court on the street. If they tell you it's time to cuff up, it's time to cuff up. You're not gonna unfuck that. Why didn't the second piggy do something sooner or assist? I'm assuming that guy was en route, but hadn't gotten there yet. Because if both of them could have done it, they both would have done it. I'm assuming and had the arrest done. That's a shame, says change the entire definition through your probable cause, easy peasy. Well, that's not going to happen. You're far better off trying to get, Terry versus Ohio and getting reasonable articulable suspicion overturned. I mean, because probable cause has been the standard forever. Probable cause is the standard for arrest. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what higher standard you can have for that. I mean, that's been around since the founding, probable cause. So. An arrest is a conviction. No, it's not. I can get arrested and released. That's not a conviction. You're arrested on suspicion of something, and he gets released 2 minutes later. Oh, it's not the guy we're looking for. Okay, bye. That's not a conviction. I'm talking about a conviction for a crime. Just getting arrested isn't a big deal. Because you can get arrested and released, and there's no record of it. You're it's not your employer can say, oh, the police stopped because they thought you were a mass murderer. Okay, and then they let you go. Analytical T says, what about innocent until proven guilty? When does that start? He did not catch him in the act of the crime. I understand that, but the police are allowed, you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The police don't have the same standard of you're presumed innocent. Remember, their job is to investigate and figure out if somebody committed a crime and if that person didn't arrest them. And this officer's going to say, I had a description and this guy matched it. Okay. I mean, otherwise we're doing innocent until proven guilty. The police can't really arrest anybody. It's crying shame. I don't disagree. I think that the state should be forced to pay when they do that. But that's not, I'd love to be in a situation where we could force that reality. Try call for saying, did he say hands behind your back before the slam? Yeah. He said you're in arrest, put your hands behind your back. A couple of different times. Elegant News says the cop did not care what he said. Well, at that point, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's not going to care what you say. You could be giving him relevant information. He's not worried about that. If he's decided he's going to arrest you, that's what he's focused on. Then you might be able to explain your way out of it after that point, maybe. But once he's decided to cuff you up, you're not going to talk him out of it. Job well done says those guys might be illiterate in general too. Very, very possible. Very possible. Divining Rod says remove qualified immunity. No disagreement there. Raise the IQ requirements for cops. No disagreement there. Will cause a pay increase. That's people don't want to pay taxes, so that's a separate matter. F the police. Fair enough. This wasn't the first time he's. Oh, I guarantee it's the first time this is not the first time he's done this. Robert Lawrence says the one breaking the cars probably got away because of rushing to judgment that night. No, most of the time these guys, they don't catch those people breaking into cars randomly like that. Unless they're dumb enough to get unlucky enough to have the cop roll by when they're doing it. Most of the time, those guys don't get caught. Jim is saying anytime you try to hold court on the street, someone's going to get hurt or killed. Yeah. I mean, that's... that's a shame, and it's a crying shame. Guys, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, the 5 or 6 minutes there, yeah, he might have been late, but he still would have had his job. And yes, getting arrested is not good, but he gets arrested and detained for a couple of minutes and then cut loose. Or maybe he gets arrested and gets charged. Yeah, that sucks. And then he beats it. And then, yeah, should he be compensated? Yes, when that happens. But it's far better to get arrested, beat the charges, and then move on with your life than, get suplex, break your collarbone, and severely injured, maybe, severely crippled, and then beat the charges. I mean, there's ways that this turns out better than others. So. This VR said he was concussed from my still. Yeah, and he's lucky he didn't have a true cervical spinal injury. Because I doubt that guy's head was properly. He didn't throw him down with watching out for him. So. Oh, geez, you guys. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here. Premier saying, never talked to the police, including arguing, being arrested. Yeah. Into Crime Sim says if arrested, they don't work it on the side of the road and they were arresting him. Well, they're going to search his stuff and say, oh, is this stuff missing from the cars? Okay, clearly not. They could let him go. But are the odds he's getting arrested and getting booked? Yeah. Then they're going to go back and figure out if he was down there. Sure. But would you rather get arrested, okay, beat your charges, or get arrested, possibly break your neck or have a collarbone injury, and then beat your charges? I mean, which one do you want? Because you're getting arrested no matter what happens. So do you want to get injured on top of it and have the cops kick your ass? That's the decision you have to make. Do you want to add the ass kicking to it? Because you can't count on the cops following the law. You can't count on them applying force properly. Why? Because most of them suck at their job. So no, if I'm getting arrested, I'm not going to risk that they don't accidentally kill me or beat me and cripple me. I'd like to avoid that. Dumb man, it says technically detained is not arrested. I know the courts have tried to make those distinctions, but it's all bull. You're being seized. You're seized under the Fourth Amendment. That's the true issue. So, so then technically, if you're stopped, you are arrested. You're seized within the meaning of the Fourth Amendment. He's not free to go. Anytime you're not free to go, you're seized. Yeah, this is who we are. Says, yeah, they took everything out of his backpack, and yes, they clearly realized he didn't do anything. But by that point, he's already wouldn't just agree to get cuffed, and now he's in the hospital. So, Beers and Bullshit says he beat a misdemeanor theft. Well, he didn't get charged with, they realized he didn't commit the theft, so he didn't beat him. They got dismissed. He didn't gain felony. He gained a resisting, yeah, and then it got dismissed. And now that he filed suit, they charged him again. So yeah, that he'll still beat that. But this is where Had he not even done that, okay, great. He got arrested and then released. He wouldn't have to go file a lawsuit because one got his ass kicked by a retarded cop. Miss Dinga Ding is saying my voice like Barry White. Oh, it sounds awful right now. It's almost hurting. So, Robert Lawrence saying the cops jumped the gun. They thought, oh shit, I shouldn't be doing it. Oh no, they don't. Oh, no. He doesn't think he did a damn thing wrong there. He doesn't care. He'll use whatever force necessary to stop you. That doesn't matter to him. It has not occurred in his mind he may have messed up or done a bad thing. That's something I can guarantee you. You know, even now he probably thinks he did that perfectly. John Ross says, I'd love to see him try to slam you like that. The cop's going to have back problems for sure. Yeah, and they probably charged me with injuring a police officer, so I'll pass on that. June Xiang Karuk says, can he sue the department and the cops separately? Well, he would sue them both in a lawsuit. If he's suing him under a 1983 claim for excessive force and other things, he's going to sue them together. So they'll be sued as separate parties, as separate defendants, but they'll be co-defendants. And also, I know I haven't seen you guys posting in a minute or two. It's a shame and it's a crying shame. I hope you guys understand I'm not coming from a separate place for you guys. I totally agree. But you got to operate within the parameters of what we have. So I hope you guys didn't take off. A-Dub saying retarded cop is redundant. Horrible Warble says, are they thinking? I doubt it. Robert Lawrence says, that's messed up. They need to be trained to be humble. You can't train somebody to be humble. Either they are or they aren't. So. Trot, I think you're right. You know, he couldn't wait another second to have help. He had to, you know, do this and act like he was a superhero. I think that's part of it too. So. Meat Candy, yeah, I did see that one. That one, God, that one's awful. Third Railify, how you doing? How you doing, Sean? Saying, will look bad from the court's perspective that they dropped the charge and only recharged them once they sued him. Well, yeah, especially for the 1983 case, that's going to look really bad because then that could be also malicious prosecution if the prosecutor keeps going as far as well. Just Me says, I think there was a retard going all around on this one. Here's the thing, though. One side of this is supposed to be professionals. You know, one side of this has guys who are doing their job. Okay? The other guy's minding his own business. The other side involves people who their job is to run up in your shit. One side actually has to, you know, one side you're allowed to just wander around like a dumbass. The other side doesn't get to that luxury, given all the rights and protections they get. So no, the other side doesn't get to act like a retard. That should be held against them. The other side gets to. Because that guy has no Guy was walking on the side of the road, staying out of traffic. That's all he's expected to do. One hurt nobody. That's his only obligation. It's his only job. J-Rock, J-Rock, no, I'm saying for $2. Thank you very much. Says, have you seen Ralph's nosedive? Oh, yeah. Although, was it really? I think that was all just a cash grab. So, although, yes, I heard apparently he had to go to the U.S. consulate in Belize to renew his paperwork. So, good for him. It's a crying shame. Says, thankfully, I was a girl having to ride my bike to work at 4 a.m. to open by 5 or after midnight if I had to close. Jeez. Riding at 4, that's not fun. Harble Warble says, with the police force, is making a mistake like arresting the wrong guy looked down upon, or is it just a cost of doing business? I mean, they're going to say, look, we thought we made a good faith. We thought this guy matched the description we had. So they're just going to be like, oh, well, oops. Sorry, buddy. Have a good day. I mean, that's how they're going to react. Or if they charge the wrong guy, they're like, oopsie poopsie. I'm not going to lie to you and say like they're going to be heartbroken about it. I mean, certainly some of them might feel bad about it, but they're going to go back out there and do their thing. Ross says, how screwed would you be if a judge found you in contempt and you responded with, the court should stop being contemptible? That sounds like another 30 days of contempt. What is Ralph not nosediving? Me, Candy, yes. He's like that airplane where you can fly and it does the 0G experience. It's like up and down and up. Yeah. You're weightless. So. Oh, that's the same. Says my phone died, so I couldn't respond. Oh, it was a typo? Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what, though? I know you guys are both public defenders, and I've worked as one before, and I still do defense work, and I still take court-appointed stuff and help indigent people. It's one of these, the things of interacting with the cops can cause so many problems, even if you don't do anything wrong. Even if you're not arrested or you're just temporarily detained, and it spirals from there. Yeah, all kinds of problems. So yeah, totally get it. J-Rock, no, I'm saying for $2, says put Steam ID in Discord so I can add. All right, I'll throw it up in there at some point. Let me get done with all this. I'll throw it in the. Do I have like a gaming part? Yeah, I have games. I'll put it in games. I'll like flash everybody there. So we'll hit that up. But thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. 30 more days. Well, generally that's how the judges around here do, like 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, 30 days of contempt. Oh yeah, the airplane's called the Vomit Comet that does the weightless thing. Patty Letter says just shut up. Yeah. Let's check in Rumble real quick, see how people are doing over there. Oh, quite a few people over in Rumble. Guys, thanks for smashing the plussy. I appreciate it. How many I don't think it says how many people are watching, but oh well. 20 people smashed that plussy there. That's always good news. Who else we got? Oh, Alec Baldwin. All right, guys. So if you guys weren't aware, we are going to move on to our boy, good old Alec. He dodged a bullet. Good old Alec dodging a bullet. Yeah, Rumble went live. Yep, it's there. Wait, hold on. Track golf. You're saying Andy Griffith was gone. They like to say Andy Griffith would have been nice, but like, Andy Griffith back in the day wouldn't have been afraid to rattle the chicklets if you gave him, I know my rights. He would have hit you in the teeth with a nightstick. So, and like Otis the drunk would have got tuned up a couple of times. I mean, there may have been nice cops, but like a lot of cops back in the 50s and 60s, oof. And the term hickory shampoo exists for a reason. I'll leave it that way. Oh, yeah, I got to check locals too. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, God. I don't think I can show some of these. Oh my gosh. You guys, these are... You're going to have to go on locals, guys. I can't show these on YouTube. But YouTube... Mama Susan and whoever else is here will get mad. Isaac Baruch's Wholesome Gabagool Art for $2. Thank you for the chat. It says, my boy Sean, the most base law tuber. Thank you. So, yes, you're correct. We're going to get to that. So the DA dropped the charges, and one of the charges for Alec Baldwin was the use of the firearm in the commission of the crime, which was a mandatory, which would have led to a 5-year jail sentence or prison sentence. It turns out that was improperly applied, given the time when the law passed and when Alec Baldwin committed the crime. So it's no longer applicable. The old standard is brandishing a weapon and leading to somebody's death. So based upon the probable cause affidavit, I know I looked at it, I think Runkles looked at it too. Alec Baldwin sitting there drawing the gun, bang, and it goes off. Now, if he's sitting there waving around like, do you know who I am? I'll show you. You don't get it, do you? That would be brandishing. Threatening and being menacing, being an asshole with it. But there's no evidence he was doing that. He was sitting there drawing it, playing with it, fucking with it, boom, it went off. So he's not applicable under that standard. He can only face the prior one, and they aren't going to meet that. So he's only facing 18 months. But in the meantime, he dodged a bullet there. But his case has started. And what does that mean by it started? Well, he did get an arraignment. Okay. So he was arraigned. He pled not guilty. Now, what does that mean for him? Well, all it means at this point is, just like any normal arraignment, you're acknowledging, yes, these charges are here before me. I'm entering a plea, and I wish to, you're dealing with your case. So it was interesting that he was allowed to do his arraignment not in person. For a felony like this, especially a homicide level offense, even though it's manslaughter, it's a lower level. I'm surprised the judge didn't make him waddle on in and do it, but okay. But he entered a plea. He is not allowed to drink alcohol, own a gun, which, okay, or talk to potential witnesses besides discussing the continuation of Rust. So, which is funny because there's full of witnesses, but he's only allowed to talk to them for Rust. Now, this causes problems, though, because he's the executive producer. He can easily threaten people. I'm sure he can extort his job using soft power, knowing he's the guy signing checks. That if they don't do what he wants, they can be punished for it. If he doesn't talk to them, they can be punished for it. So I think this is, a problem here, but also this is a man running his business. So I understand the other side of it from the defense standpoint. Claude Asher saying ex post facto is a thing. Yeah. And I'm not sure about the whole timeline of the effective dates or whatever it was. Either way, it just didn't work. And we'll get to the problem I have with what they said, because there is something they said that's too shitty. The prosecutor said they had a big problem with. And J-Rock for $2 again saying, I said a Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all we need. Oh, jeez, that's... Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot. So he was expected to be in court on February 25th, but no longer needs to appear. The problem I have with the DA's case, and they charged him, and you know what? Okay, they do mess up. The problem I have with this is their response when the attorney said, hey, the prosecutor screwed up. And instead of being magnanimous, saying, yes, we messed up and we'll move on from there, they said, in order to avoid further litigious distractions by Mr. Baldwin and his attorneys, yes, it's a distraction to point out the law doesn't apply to me. You charged me with the wrong statute. Yes, that's a distraction. You know what else is a distraction? When the prosecutor fucks up. That's a distraction. You know, the district attorney and special prosecutor had removed the firearm enhancement to involve manslaughter charges in the death of Helena Hutchins in the Rust film set. The prosecutor's priority is securing justice. Well, justice would be charging the guy with the right fucking crime. That's justice. That's justice. You know, not securing billable hours for big city attorneys. The only person who secured those billable hours was you guys by fucking up. You charged him with the wrong goddamn crime. Yeah, how dare he have really good attorneys that point out you fucked up. Yeah, God forbid they do their fucking job and make you look like dumb fucks. I get it. No one wants to look like the dipshit out there, but you know what? You guys fucked up. Own it. Move on. But to come out and say, well, he got them big city lawyers, I'm pretty sure anybody would have realized you guys fucked up and filed the motions to dismiss. I mean, really. You know, if you guys do your job, his attorneys don't have anything to do. This isn't fucking hard. Work like a fucking professional. Get it done right. Or if you fuck them, say, oops, I messed up. I need to pay better attention. But to come out with shit like this, I mean, I almost want him to fucking win now because you sound like either fucking assholes or just retards. And having assholes as prosecutors is bad, but it's even scarier when you have a group of fucking retards in a prosecutor's office. That's scarier. That's like a kid running around with a fucking gun. Just shooting blindly. I mean, that's scarier, more dangerous than a guy who decides, I'm going to pick out a target. So, and I know that the spokesperson didn't do this on her own, but Jesus Christ, Heather, I would not have read this if I were you. Girl, would not have read that shit. Not have read that shit. Raw honey with the comb. I know I can't do anything right now, guys. And I have honey and I have some tea. And also, I do have tea from the Dragon's Treasure. Yes. That I'm going to be drinking and I have been working on. And you guys are awesome. I appreciate it. But yes, if you guys do need tea, you can go to Dragon's Treasure, a haven for tea and anime lovers. for anime lovers and tea lovers. They do all kinds of great things. They have new rotations coming for March 2023. They have Butterscotch Update. They have rotating in Tree Folks Forest and Irish Breakfast Tea, which if you guys have never had one of those, is actually really good. Cherry Marzipan. I don't know about that one, but hey, if that sounds good to you, it sounds like a good one. Caramel Pear. That sounds good. Tuxedo Assam. Huh. So, Lustful Licorice. That sounds like a dirty book some wine moms read. But anyways, guys, stop by here. Use the code CRIMINAL, and he'll help you out a little bit. But it's always good stuff there. That's at Dragon's Treasure. Track Over says Runtime on purpose. I don't know. Patty says the DA intentionally threw the case. We'll find out going forward. Rip Sean's voice. Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. I don't know. I got a couple of phone pre-trials tomorrow. Hopefully I can do them. I don't know. I'm a little worried now. American Dreamer says, fuck Alec. I hope he goes broke. Look, you can hate Alec Baldwin. He's a dickhead, an asshole, and none of this could have happened to a nicer guy. But he's still entitled to all the protections of the law. They apply to everybody. If they don't apply to the people you hate, then they're not going to apply to you. They apply to everyone. It's equal protection under the law. Even for the assholes and the pieces of shit out there. Equal protection. Job well done says, am I old enough to be president? Yes, I'm 37. So, yes, by 2 years. Freedom Thinker is saying some might think this is deliberate so Baldwin will walk free. I don't think so. I agree with Robert Barnes. They made an offer to him already to some sort of misdemeanor. Just like David Hall did. Plea out, man. Just take a misdemeanor and walk away. Alec Baldwin, I don't think could fathom doing that. So he's fighting this all the way. It's like Taylor Swift, man. This is gonna be forever. Or it's gonna go down in flames. And maybe he'll tell you when it's over if the high was worth the pain. So he had his chance. I don't think it's coming back around again. Pacific Islander says, I love when shots start shooting gas. That can be interpreted multiple ways. Interesting Pigeon says there's something about the way I say fucked up with COVID throat. That's hilarious. Ag Biochemist says, are we sure prosecutors have assholes? Well, I mean, I had one when I was a prosecutor, so I had an asshole. I definitely made sure I wasn't an asshole. Graham is saying, did I cover Julissa Thaler yet? No, we're going to get to that. John Ross says, Sean yelling with his voice the way it is right now reminds me of Sharp with voice cords cut. Oh. Yes, girl. I don't know, like, yeah. Claude Asher says 6 months spent in community service. Here's the thing. Alec Baldwin, he's refusing to be convicted because he refuses to think he did anything wrong. That's the issue for him. Harbor Warber says, do I have to watch Naruto while I drink it, though? No, you just have to do the Naruto run and go like, well, after you drink it. Hentai lovers? Maybe. Hey, hentai lovers like tea. Jim is saying, I can see the future. They're going to please down to a misdemeanor. I think they already offered him a misdemeanor. They would have done that. They offered the one guy a misdemeanor already. I don't think Alec Baldwin's refusing everything. I think they already came to him with a misdemeanor. So, Launard says, "Do I need to send you some guy vermectin, or do you have a hookup?" I'm taking care of myself a different way, but we'll be all right. It's really not that bad. Like I said, just killing my throat. That's what she said. The ego's too big with Alec. I think so, 100%. Critical says, "Could the government ever not be slimy cunts?" Generally, no. That's kind of what they are for the most part. Brent, I think you kind of got where I was going with that spoken word. Leonard say 30 people need to smash the like. Well, hopefully more than 30 people smash like. Jeez, that's not good for business. 264 likes. Hey, four dislikes. That's okay. It's all good. Buddy Cash is saying, is that what he turned down? I don't know what he turned down, but I presume they offered him a plea already. If I'm the prosecutor, I don't want to have to try this case. This case is going to be a mess. For those of you sitting there thinking like, oh, I'd love to try this and have Alec Baldwin on the stand. Okay, yeah, you know what? I like trial, but this is going to be a dick and a half to put together. If you're a prosecutor, this would just be a mess. It's far easier to get everybody to say, look, we were all handling guns like retards. You know, a little bit of criminal stuff involved. Everybody pleads out to misdemeanors. We all go our separate ways. I guarantee that was offered to all three of them. And I don't think Alec Baldwin has it in him to accept a plea. Really, I'm going through here. You guys did not catch the Taylor Swift thing. Or you guys just really hate Taylor Swift that bad you wouldn't acknowledge it. I don't know. I'm not sure. Critical says 1 like equals 1 prayer for Sean's recovery. Beers and Bullshit says DAs only try cases they'll know they'll win these days. Yeah, but this one, if the guy won't accept a plea, I'm not going to lie. If this occurred where if I was the district attorney, county prosecutor, Commonwealth's attorney, state's attorney, yada, 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 even if I thought this one was sketchy, there's probable cause he committed a crime. I would prosecute this. I mean, somebody got smoked. You can't just that can't just, that's not just like somebody stubbing their toe. Stabby saying, do you think we'll see a verdict of Murdaugh this year? Yeah, maybe not this month, but this year, yes. Taylor Swift sounds like the cat dying. Who the fuck is Taylor Swift? You guys are ridiculous. John Ross says, who's your favorite future conflict person? Whichever one of them doesn't think I'm a complete idiot. So I don't know which one of them that is yet. Wicked Money says, yo, I'm going to let you finish. The amateur iconoclasts. Even Russell Greer isn't into Taylor Swift anymore. Yeah, well, at least her early stuff. It's kind of like Huey in the News, or it's like Phil Collins. Do you like Phil Collins? His early stuff with Duke. really set the tone. Yes. Do you like Taylor Swift? I really think she kind of set the standard with, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. With that song, she really grasped the burgeoning hope of the millennials that were out there and what they were going to do with this world, how they were going to seize their dreams. Yet they've seen in the past decade those dreams fallen away to despair, an economic downturn, and instability of this world. Graham is saying, so our prosecutor is supposed to take every case which is probable cause. Here we go. I guess, well, shit, I guess I'll, sorry for showing you this. You asked for it, though. So, okay, American Bar Association. Real quick, timeout. Hold on here. Real talk. Red table talk here. ABA, bunch of assholes, communists, and leftists. Okay? But they pushed them out of rules, and this rule's pretty much been adopted everywhere. Rule 3.8, special duties of a prosecutor. We're going to get to here. Hold on. The prosecutor in a criminal case shall refrain from prosecuting a charge that the prosecutor knows is not supported by probable cause. So, yeah, that's obviously there should be far more, but that's the bare minimum. Yeah. So, a common lawyer says sports was great. Yes. You like Huey Lewis? Did your friend? Yes. It's hip to be a square. Yes. Really, with his double meanings. So, Cole Roberts says Rule 3.3 is super okay. Yes. But I'm just pointing out, here is the standard for prosecutors. Technically, it's only to, the common lawyer says ABA is a bunch of lefties, can confirm. Yes. Yep. So, generally speaking, that's to the bare minimum. But I think there's more than probable cause here. If I was this occurred where I lived as a prosecutor, I'd be prosecuting because I think I could convict him. Footer Soldier says, no matter what you say to Huey, he can't hear you. Oh, all right. Yes. Okay, guys, we got one thing left here. Wow, we are chugging along, and we're going to finish this up. So, Julissa Thaler, she was a woman in Minnesota, who was sentenced to life in prison for murdering her son. So she was sentenced to life in prison for murdering her son in 2022. On last week, she was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. And we'll talk about her. It's mainly because of what she says in her sentencing. So basically, she was awarded custody of her kid. Dad filed to get custody back. And within days, the police stopped her. And basically the prosecutors think at some point she pulled out a shotgun, shot her 6-year-old kid 9 times, hit his body in the trunk. She was covered in blood. A window was smashed out, and her car was driving on a rim. And when they searched the car after she was covered in blood, they found her kid and a gun stuck in the trunk. So, and her dad, the dad of the kid, is suing the Dakota County Social Services. Probably won't get anywhere because of Castle Rock v. Gonzalez and DeShaney v. Winnebago County. But hey, I don't blame him for suing. So she ended up going to sentencing. And this was, I guess, kind of the sentencing everybody wishes. Somebody be like, oh, why don't they say it like this? Well, here you go. Here you go.
Ms. Thaler, you have a right to speak this morning if you'd like. You don't have any obligation to speak, but if you'd like to choose to speak, now is the time to do it.
Yes, I would like to say something.
Go ahead.
I'm innocent. Fuck you all. You're garbage. That's all, Your Honor.
Ms. Thaler, I don't know that that's...
Let's rewind that.
Ms. Thaler, you have a right to speak this morning if you'd like. You don't have any obligation to speak, but if you'd like to choose to speak, now is the time to do it.
Yes, I would like to say something.
Go ahead.
I'm innocent. Fuck you all. You're garbage. That's all, Your Honor.
Ms. Thaler.
Now, there were arguments from her attorneys that she didn't kill the kid, but somebody else had, and because she was hanging out with losers, whoever, but she wouldn't say what happened. So, yeah. So that's where we are there. Yes, Wicked Money says, did they use the Murdaugh playbook? Jeez. By Franz, I don't think I can fix her. Well, not with an attitude like that, man. Not with an attitude like that. Beers and Bullshit. Just became a new member. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Very, very much. I truly do. Thank you. Thank you. Kevin says a based. It's a real winner. Well, yeah, when you're going away forever, what's it matter at that point? It's like he can give you more time. Tarkino Meyer says I need subtitles. Oh. Sullivan says that lawyer's face. Yeah, I've been there before. I know that. Been that person. Yup. Somebody's saying, oh, what are you talking about on Rumble? I'm too low. The camera shot is centered. Yeah. Okay, I have to mess with the camera because when Joe has the banner going, I always get cut off, and I keep messing with it and need to fix it back. So, what are you guys in locals chat? Yeah, I'll be in there in a minute, guys. So, Brent says I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. So, I guess people always wonder how come nobody does it. Well, there you go. Somebody did it for once. Jim is saying the crazy hot scale and this one was very lopsided. Yes. Yes. Mostly gluten. Thank you for becoming a member. I truly, really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Porcelain Thunder saying my people, theory and people weird hair is proving to be true. I mean, her hair wasn't that weird. I think it was when she got arrested, but at the time of the trial, it's not weird. So, Mostly Gluten just gifted 10 memberships. thank you very much. I'm sure whoever gets one of those is going to be very appreciative as well. Oh, wow. There you go, hitting everybody up. So, yeah, guys, that's it for tonight. Wow, 2 hours. That's a little longer than normal, but hey, it was worth it. So, I think we're going to wrap this up tonight. I got to make sure I have a voice for the morning. I am... guys, if you want to join us, we're on Locals afterwards, having the after party, kind of after the stream for a little while at least. We'll hang out and talk for a while. Chris Knobloch says, so if I want some, does that make me a homosexual? Huh? I guess I'll answer maybe. You can do anything you put your mind to, Chris. So, Sue, you're asking what is Locals? Well, if you go to potentiallycriminal.locals.com, you can join there, and it's very much like if you're being a member here on YouTube. And actually, it's a little different because it's a separate place where we can talk. I do streams. I do one on every Monday, doing it like 7:30. We're still working on a name. There's a couple of names I'm sorting through, and then I usually do one now after the show. It's not a dating website. So, guys, we will be hanging out there. Twitter? Yeah, I'm on Twitter. It's at LawTubeSean. You can find me there. I should actually be on Twitter with the stream right now. So we'll be hanging out for a little bit, guys. Thank you for everybody here, everybody who's liked. Guys, if you really did enjoy this in your new year, and I saw some new names tonight, thank you for stopping in. Please, if you guys really enjoyed it, give me a subscribe, share it around. Guys, Discord, Rumble, BitChute. God, where else am I on? I'm trying to think of everywhere else. Come by Discord. It's always fun. Discord doesn't cost anything. If you guys want to join Locals, I always appreciate that. We have fun over there. Could do everything YouTube doesn't allow us to do. So, yeah, Peter is correct. Locals is like Patreon. It's free to join. You guys can join and see everything that's going on, but there are some things that you have to actually be a supporter to see or do, especially if there's like live chats. Although I do have it enabled where for a less than what is required to be a member, so I think it's like $1. You can pay $1 and you can join in a chat, at least for that chat only. So once again, everybody, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody's support, members, super chats, everybody at all. Everybody here in the chat. You guys make the world go round here. You guys make it fun. You guys make the 2 hours fly by. I always appreciate it. Yes, Stabby's right. Discord's great unless you have thin skin. Yeah. Don't come there if you get offended. So, all right, guys, I will see everybody else. See you guys around. And for everybody on Locals, I'll be there in 1 minute. And just remember, guys, until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Good night, everybody.